I just want to show you real quick how you can export customers or coaches from your Team Beachbody Coach online office. And what you need to do is just go into your office and then go to My Customers if you want to get your customers. If you want to get your coaches, you can go to Sponsorship Drill Down or My Team if you just want your personally sponsored. So once you're in your customers, it'll list all of your customers here. And what you need to do is just click this export button and say export. And what it'll do is it'll it'll create a file, an Excel, a CSV file actually, and it'll ask you if you want to open it in Excel, or it may just download it straight to your computer. I don't need to download it again because I've already downloaded it and modified it. So this is all fake information. But you'll see, a whole list of all of your customers. And with TextP2P, you can only have one row of headers, this row right here. So these other 4 rows need to be deleted. And in order to delete these, you want to click on the number, and I normally just click and drag, and you want to then right click and say delete. And so now we only have one row of headers with our data. And save that CSV to a place on your hard drive where you can find it. And then switch over to TextP2P and go to your lists. And I'm going to create a new list called My Customers. And I'm going to say I have permission to text them. And now I'm going to go into that new list that I created, My Customers, that has no customers in it currently. And I'm going to click on Action, Import Contacts. I'm going to check the box that says that my file contains headers, and I'm going to browse for the file that I just saved. And here it is, and you can just verify it's going into My Customers. And if the contact already exists, I'm going to update it, and I'm going to click on Upload. Now, because this column matches, it automatically maps it to first name and this one to last name. But if you have headers that are different for some reason, these would be set to ignore, and you would have to manually select this as label the columns manually. So maybe I want to label customer ID and put that into the custom one field, for example. And I can see that my email, my phone number is already mapped. As it did map street 1, so I'm going to map that to address, and I'll map street 2 to address 2, and city and state. And of course you don't need any of these. You could set all of these to ignore if you want. All this other stuff is just set to ignore because I don't care about importing it. And then I'm going to click on submit. And one other thing that I'll mention is you'll notice it only imported the first 2 rows, and I had more than 2 rows in the file because it only brings in the first 2 rows so that you can map the columns. So don't worry if not all the rows are there. So after I hit submit, boom, it's imported those 4 contacts. I can click on that list, and I can see all 4 contacts have been imported. I could click on one of those contacts, and I can see the detailed information, including the address, and then of course you can modify it. You can take notes or assign them to different lists or add their social profiles or whatever you really want to do. But you can see that the list now has 4 people in it. So that is all there is to it for importing, your contacts or coaches into the list. And also, don't worry about this unverified status. This just means that their phone number hasn't been texted or called yet, so it's unverified. And when you go to send them the first text, it will verify whether it's a valid mobile number or if it's a landline or something else, and it'll mark it right here in this column, and then it'll switch these to be active. So hope that was easy enough, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Thanks a lot.